Yo, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Eddie Brett, your man Eddie Brett, aka Eddie 1000 Brett. So today is July 28th. Oh, I'm sorry. Today is July 27th, 2023. And it's finally here. The Terrence Crawford versus Errol, the Truth, Spence. I never thought that we would get to this point, but we are here. I sent out tweets to Errol Spence, and it's just so much backstory to this. At first, I thought Terrence Crawford didn't want to fight. Then I thought Errol Spence didn't want to fight. Then I told Terrence Crawford to move on. Then I told Errol Spence, bro, drop the belts. So now we are here. I guess they listened or got fed up with my tweets and my shenanigans because I really wanted to fight. So we're here. The fight is 2 days away. Yes. So I was not going to make a prediction video until they arrived at the hotel and did the grand arrivals, because it was like I had to pinch myself. Is this real? So today they arrived, and woo! It got a little chippy today at the final press conference. Terrence Crawford was talking to Errol Spence's crowd, and Errol Spence didn't say shit. Errol Spence didn't say nothing. So so what we have is prediction time. Now, I will tell you this. I lost money on both these fighters before. Well, no. I lost money betting against Terrence Crawford a long time ago with Kell Brook. And I don't think I lost some money on Spence. I think I did, actually, because I was upset. And I was like, oh, so that's why they call him the Truth. I don't think it was a Sean Porter fight. Which fight was it? It was one of the fights that I bet against Errol Spence. But now that I have studied both fighters, watched so many hours of tape, I am convinced that I know who is going to win this fight. Okay? So let's talk about a few things here. Which fighter has been through the fire? Okay? Has Errol Spence been hurt before? Yes. Has Terrence Crawford been hurt before? Yes. Okay, so they're the same in that aspect. Now, let's talk about the best attributes of each fighter. First of all, you don't hear too many people saying they want to be like, well, let me rewind. Let's talk about Errol Spence's best attributes. Errol Spence's best attributes are, in my opinion, his jab. Has a great, great jab. And the southpaw and that right jab is just boom, boom, boom. It's steady, consistent, high output. He is a fundamental fighter. He goes to the head. He goes to the body. He is relentless. He comes forward. He fights going forward. Okay. Now let's talk about Terrence Crawford's best attributes. For one, he's dynamic. He is a switch hitter. He can fight left hand. He can fight southpaw, orthodox. He is athletic. He's fast. He's quick. But the two most important things about Terrence Crawford is his timing and his IQ. His timing is impeccable. He timed Kell Brook perfectly when he knocked out Kell Brook. Sean Porter timed him. What's the guy name that he fought? Eva Venetian timed him. And Terrence Crawford's timing is just amazing. And he is able to learn and break you down and understand exactly what your what timing, your patterns are. So that's one thing Terrence Crawford has that Errol Spence has not showed. Errol Spence has not showed that he has great timing. Next thing Terrence Crawford has is high IQ. Now, high IQ is difficult to learn. I don't think you can learn high IQ. Tyson Fury has high IQ. Inoue has high IQ. And Terrence Crawford has high IQ, ring IQ. And IQ means being able to set things up, being able to see things in the ring that everybody doesn't see, being able to set your partner or your opponent up for a shot that they won't see coming. And that is IQ. Teofimo Lopez, when he's at his best, he has high IQ. But Terrence Crawford has high IQ. He has timing. And those are two attributes that Errol Spence has never shown to have. Okay? So, I believe Terrence Crawford is going to make easy work of Errol Spence. You heard it here first. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Errol Spence. Errol Spence is a solid fighter, a fundamentally sound fighter, and talented fighter. But Terrence Crawford is all of those things plus more. So, while Errol Spence is a high-level fighter, Terrence Crawford is an elite fighter. There's levels to this. Now, we know that there's levels to fighting. Okay? We know that there's levels to this. And Errol Spence is a good fighter. He cleaned out his division. But one of the things that concerns me about Errol Spence is that besides being able to knock out anybody of late except Ugas, he hasn't shown to be an elite fighter. Elite fighters beat fighters in style. Okay? Jaron Ennis, he potentially could be an elite fighter, but I bring him up to show you how an elite fighter can be hurt and get hurt, but is still able to look good in the ring, or look well above his competition. All right. Now, I'm not saying Jaron Ennis is an elite fighter at this point because he hasn't fought anyone of note. But Terrence Crawford, he's stopped Porter, something Errol Spence couldn't do. Stopped Kell Brook in the 4th or 5th round. He stopped everybody. I think the last 10 fights, he's stopped everyone. All right? And there's a reason why. You don't get to this level in fluke and just, you know, knock somebody out accidentally. This is a technical, skillful, predetermined strategy that Terrence Crawford is able to execute. So I don't see Errol Spence and his trainer, Derek James. They were always talking about breaking. We're gonna break him. We're gonna break him. So you can try, but what's going to happen when you're not able to break Terrence Crawford? What's going to happen when Errol Spence has to start fighting on the back foot? Now, Terrence Crawford can fight coming forward and going backwards. Errol Spence hasn't shown that he can fight on the back foot. Errol Spence has one direction, forward. So, Terrence Crawford, he's going to make this look easy. He has high IQ, great timing, and all you have to do when you're fighting someone who fights forward is set traps. A forward fighter is easy to predict because they have one direction, and that's forward. So you can set traps for that forward fighter. You know which way he's coming. So you set traps, and once Errol Spence falls for some traps, he's going to be more reluctant to come forward. At which point, Terrence Crawford can come forward and put Errol Spence on his back foot. I believe that's what Terrence Crawford's game plan is. Errol Spence already gave his game plan away. In an interview, he said, I'm stepping. I expect Terrence Crawford to step, and I'm going to be stepping too. It's going to be fireworks. So, we already know what Errol Spence's game plan is. And this is where IQ, this is where the attributes come into play. What did Terrence Crawford say his game plan is? He does not reveal his game plan. He says, we're going to have to see. And what that implies is that he is able to adjust. He's able to adjust. Errol Spence does X, Terrence Crawford can do ABC. Errol Spence does Y, Terrence Crawford can do 1, 2, 3. So, Errol Spence has already given up his game plan. I don't see Errol Spence trying to change his game plan. And if he does, that'll be a motherfucking better fight, which is what I want to see. I don't want Terrence Crawford to just walk all over Errol Spence. Now, how can Errol Spence beat Terrence Crawford? Well, it depends. Errol Spence can beat Terrence Crawford if Terrence Crawford is not Terrence Crawford. But there's really no other way I can see Errol Spence beating Terrence Crawford. 50-50s, Terrence Crawford. Backing up, set traps, Terrence Crawford. Coming forward, Errol on the back foot, Terrence Crawford. Now, I'm not a Crawford bud buddy or whatever, any of that shit, pause. But I don't see how Errol Spence. I just spit. I don't see how Errol Spence. Let me think. The only way I can see Errol Spence beating Bud is him coming forward and trapping Bud Crawford in the corner and just breaking him down that way. That's the way I can see Errol Spence beating Terrence Crawford. But, I mean, think about it. Terrence Crawford has a high IQ. He's not going to let you back him up into a corner and just let you beat down on him. I mean, what the fuck? Terrence Crawford isn't some Ugas. Terrence Crawford isn't Sean Porter. Now, if Terrence Crawford gets in there and one thing about Terrence Crawford that could be his curse is that he has too many tools. If Terrence Crawford goes in there and he goes in there orthodox, Errol Spence figures him out, and then Terrence Crawford goes to southpaw, and Errol Spence figures him out, and Terrence Crawford does something else, and Errol Spence figures him out, then Terrence Crawford will lose. But the question is, will Terrence Crawford do that? I don't see Terrence Crawford being anyone else besides Terrence Crawford. I don't see it happening. And I don't see how Errol Spence is going to beat Terrence Crawford. I don't see it. I don't see how. So I have Terrence Crawford winning. Let's talk about the psychology a little bit. The psychology, the money, the Vegas line, all of the money. Well, what's going on in Errol Spence's head when he looks at the odds and he sees he's the underdog? That's got to have some sort of impact because he's human, just like you and I are human. He looks at the odds and he sees that he's an underdog, so something has to go on in his brain. Something has to go on in his brain. Something has to say, damn, people really think Terrence Crawford is going to win. They're really putting their money on the line to have him beat me, Errol Spence? And that's got to put doubt in his mind. And I don't know when the last time Errol Spence was the underdog. He's headlining and he's the underdog. That's just like Floyd Mayweather being the underdog against Manny Pacquiao when Floyd Mayweather was headlining. That doesn't really add up. So that has to have some sort of psychological impact on it. Now, on the other end, Terrence Crawford could be like, so he could get over confident, too confident. He could say, "Oh, Vegas already know I'm gonna win, so I don't have to try that hard," and he could go in there and get beat. So the psychology plays a big part in boxing because when you step in that ring, the truth comes out. The truth is revealed. So if you're doubtful when you step in that ring, then it's going to show. Another thing that I saw during the face-off is that Errol Spence, I mean, body language tells a lot. And body language is important because that's the only way that people know or signs of what's going on in someone's head, right? Body language is very important. So during the face-off, when Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford were face to face, some fighters tend to hold eye contact longer than normal during the face-off. And oftentimes, some fighters don't want to break eye contact to assert their dominance over their opponent. But during this face-off, the last face-off, last press conference, Errol Spence broke eye contact first and turned away first. Now, that could be a sign that says Errol Spence is being submissive. Errol Spence has lost confidence. Errol Spence has been defeated before he stepped in the ring. So, the psychology is very important. The body language is very important. So that with the other things that I mentioned is the reason why I have Terrence Crawford beating Errol Spence. For one, Errol Spence is he's not known to be a knockout artist, so I don't think he's going to be knocking out Terrence Crawford. I don't think that Errol Spence will be knocking out Terrence Crawford. I also don't think that Errol Spence is a strong finisher. I think even when Errol Spence gets someone hurt, he, as of late, has not been able to finish him, except the Ugas in the corner. The doctor stopped the Ugas fight. But Terrence Crawford, on the other hand, he's a killer. He see you hurt, you done. That's why Sean Porter's dad threw in the towel. He knew Porter was done, and he did not want Terrence Crawford to finish him. Shout out to Sean Porter, Sr. Now, Errol Spence, again, both fighters got hurt before. I'm not taking anything like that away from them. But if Errol Spence gets hurt like he did against Ugas, it's a wrap. It's a done deal. There's no way Terrence Crawford is not finishing Errol Spence if he gets hurt the same way that he did against Ugas. Period. So, this is my prediction. I have some other things that I have to do. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Give a thumbs up. I'm out.